So professional.
All right, it's been a
been a,
while. It's been a while since we've gotten back together to talk some comic books.
yeah, it's I've been on the road for much of the previous month, so
I've been the last time I was did videos was at the Albany Con, and that was at the beginning of the month. So it's only been about 2 weeks.
okay.
So,
Yeah,
but I think the last time we actually got together and talked was after
oh yeah, it was right after the con.
right after New York
Yeah,
Comic Con. So good times.
yeah,
So I don't know. You want to start with? We'll just kind of take it from uh, let let conversation flow freely
okay.
as we drink our.
Our secret llama, rose style ale. You know, you gotta get yeah, show the logo.
Brought to you by.
Yes.
So what have you been reading? Besides X-Men.
Damn it. I actually read a book earlier today, and I thought it was really good. It's a far sector.
Oh, the young animal.
Yes, it's a young animal. It's I'm trying to think of. It was kind of like the first murder in 500 years, and it's a Green Lantern related. It's just kind of a mini series. It seems kind of just it seems super random. Cause like even looking at the cover, I was just telling you a moment ago, like it looks like the back cover of a book.
Yeah.
So like I saw it and I almost didn't even grab it because I thought it was just an issue like turned over. Because I've been seeing the ads for it, but it's by hold on, I have to remember the people now. But the artist is the guy who's been doing Naomi.
Okay.
So like it's gorgeous. I mean the cover. I mean just the character design for that kind of Green Lantern I think is actually just really cool and interesting. I think it's supposed to take place way in. I
No,
think it's supposed to take place way in the future.
okay. Now I know that the young animal is supposed to be in the DCU because
Like
Doom Patrol is, and they
They're
crossed over with the
kind
Justice
of.
League of America during the Milk Wars.
Yes, I remember the milk. We lost a lot of good men in the Milk Wars. Yeah, I read most of those, but it still doesn't really feel like it's in the DC universe.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's
Like the whole act of them coming in seemed like yes, this is another universe invading this universe in a weird way. Like it didn't feel like oh yes, it's the Superman that Robot Man hangs out with.
right. But yeah, that's on my that one I've been looking at, and also Collapser, which is also the newest part of the young animal. So, but that's cool. So it's on my to read.
Yeah, I mean the art is gorgeous. I kind of almost wish it was a graphic novel because I just kind of finished this and like I really enjoyed it, but man, I just have so many questions about like just the nature of this Green Lantern. It seems like she has a special ring. She's specifically stationed on this space, gigantic space city, and it's just really interesting. And the art's just gorgeous, and there's clearly something to the nature.
So that was Far Sector.
Yes, that was Far Sector.
Okay. Let's see. One of the things I currently read. I think last time I mentioned when we were talking that the Tales of the Dark Multiverse were coming out.
Yes, you reminded me of them.
Uh,
I saw the Blackest Night one, and I was like, huh, that's a weird thing, and then just kind of moved on and didn't realize there was going to be like a bunch of them.
let's see. The first one was Nightfall. Basically, Jean-Paul Azrael becomes a Venom like addicted.
Oh,
You know,
I'm like, you say Venom, my Marvel brain.
he turns
like,
into this
he
symbiote.
gets very venomy.
Yeah, he
That's
gets. And then,
interesting take
but,
for Batman.
But he's like, he keeps Bruce Wayne alive. Like and it's like just his head, and he's like
Oh, God.
seeking his approval for what he's doing.
It's so. Oh, so it's a what if story.
Oh no.
The what if story. The end is always like, and the Earth exploded. Like that's
Oh,
how, it always gets so bad.
the end is the premise is the guy who's supposed to like watch the dark multiverse or protect it from going into the regular one, the Galactus-like figure. He's kind of like looking for allies and all that. So
Oh, so these characters might factor into something
something,
we'll be
yeah.
seeing at some point. I already have a theory, so
And then
you literally just said it, and I'm like, ah, shit. I think I know what's gonna. I have a
And
feeling
then-
I know what happens.
the next one was the death of Superman, and basically Lois absorbs the power of Superman.
As one
And then,
does.
well,
Is that an ability we?
well,
Lois
she
has
makes
had
no, she makes like the deal with the Eradicator,
Okay.
and
Okay.
then, but it turns and she's like starts going, he didn't have to die, and starts killing everybody. And then Superman, Clark eventually comes back, and she just kills him, saying. So it gets really dark really quick.
Yeah.
And then the Blackest Night, when it's kind of cool because Sinestro like never shared the power of the White Lantern, and so he's like, it's really weird. You just have to read it, but it's fun. And I think the next one is Dark Multiverse Infinite Crisis.
That's the one I'm interested in. Like, just that was one of my. I really enjoyed that era a
Yeah.
lot. The build up to Infinite Crisis is just one of the funnest times,
I agree.
and then afterwards, it was a really good start, and I just
So yeah, I mean those are pretty good. I mean, the writing, and the arts are is pretty good. So I'm looking for I could go for a series where they just followed
Yes.
stories in the dark multiverse.
whatever would they call it? Well, I guess Tales.
Tales from the Dark
I
Multiverse.
know, but it's just what if. It's just
Yeah,
a what if book.
But
Marvel did it.
yeah. But
Yeah,
that was my first thing that I really caught up on.
Yeah, that would be cool. If they had like a more regular bunch of stories in a book like that. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, well, you know why they don't? Well, I guess they can do it with the dark multiverse because there's a million dark multiverses and only 51 regular universes. So, yeah, I guess they're all gonna have to go tits up at the end, right? Because
I guess so.
they're in the dark multiverse, so it's gonna go very poorly. It's not like, oh, you know what, this turned out okay.
Yeah, it's like going along. Hey, the story looks like it's gonna turn around, and like the hero, the Blackest Night is like Lobo because he can't be how he can't be killed,
Oh
and
yeah.
so his body continually fights the infection, and
God damn it, Lobo.
you'll have to read it because it has a really funky ending. Okay, next one for you.
Okay.
X whatever.
Yes, it's X Force by Benjamin Percy.
Is that the
and
one where they attack the
Joshua
island?
Gassara. Yes, it is.
See, I have been reading it.
I just want you to know deep down, I'm proud of you right now.
So, all right.
So, I guess like I kind of thought this book was gonna start like right with them because there's supposed to be the idea of them being like the CIA or the FBI of mutants of Krakoa, and like it seems very much like, oh no, we're gonna see how this whole group forms together and starts doing that because this book just starts like with everyone just hanging out. And the issue comes when I guess Domino does some kind of mission,
Yeah.
and then
They wanted to take the "Are you a mutant?" test.
yes, and she knew she was going to fail that test. But well, see, the thing that I didn't notice upon my first read, so like later on, you see like these guys. Essentially, all we know is something didn't go well for Domino. So the next there's a scene of
Things don't go well
No, things
following
don't go well.
Domino.
No. So like we see all these guys at an airport. We see a bunch of people boarding an airport, and they have like these like weird marks on them. And I didn't catch it on my first reading, but they're supposed to be patches of Domino's skin. They have all
Oh,
these like white like patches on them.
I
And
must have missed that.
well, the thing is, so essentially these are a bunch of airplane hijackers, and then they take over the plane and jump out essentially over
Oh, so they can
Krakoa.
go.
So
Yeah.
that was why they're like Domino's coming in from the sky. This doesn't make any sense. They're all clustered together so they would register as Domino, and it's very
Now
much.
that makes sense.
I mean, one of the big stars of the book is Black Tom Cassidy, a character who he's had a better moment in this than he's had anywhere in his entire history before.
And doesn't supposedly Xavier get?
I thought you read it. Shouldn't you know this?
I don't know.
Yeah, the implication at the end of the
I
essentially.
said supposedly because I didn't want to.
Yeah, but saying supposedly implies. But yes, essentially it ends and it looks like Professor Xavier has been shot, which is messed up. He seems like a pretty important part of the whole Krakoan
A
setup.
little bit. You know.
Well, I wasn't sure either because they play it very coy. They just show that helmet he's been wearing, like essentially
Right,
the
yeah.
bullet hole right in the forehead. But in not New Mutants, in X-Men #2, in the opening like crawl, it's like, boy, everybody's really messed up after Professor Xavier was assassinated. You're like, oh, okay, so that happened.
Didn't they back him up?
Yeah.
No.
I think that's like a
Oh,
live
wait, you
thing,
doing a
dude.
podcast?
Live thing. You're
Yeah, video stream. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I'm John.
Hi.
Mike.
Mike. I'm the AKM here at
Okay.
World of Beer.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yep.
But yeah, it was just like it was very. I mean, it was a good issue. I think a lot of characters got just like a lot of interesting moments. Like again, they've made Black Dom Cassidy kind of who is a character who's been dead for a long time and kind of a pretty generic villain.
Yeah.
A weird.
Wasn't he part of the original mutants or the evil mutants or?
No, he's Banshee's brother,
No. Okay.
and for whatever reason, Black Tom Cassidy and Juggernaut became buddies at some point. They were pals, and he was real busted up after Black Tom died. But yeah, now he's back, and he's essentially like security on Krakoa because he has his powers relate to trees and plants
Right.
and like spores and everything. So essentially, he's got all eyes, all ears, all over the island because it's covered in like spores.
So
and,
it's him and Douglock or whatever.
well, he's off world right now. He's out in space with the other New Mutants, which they comment on, and I don't even remember which book at this point. Who thought it was a good idea to send the only guy who could talk to Krakoa into space?
Of course. Why not?
But yeah, so he's essentially their security system, and we see like Kitty Pryde show up on her boat, and he's like, whoa, we need to stop all this like traffic. How am I supposed
Yeah,
to?
because she can't go through the portals, right?
Yes, that's one of the first weird things that they are.
That's over in not-
Marauders,
Marauders. Okay.
which was also good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm reading. I tried to read all of them, so.
The only one that I thought the first issue wasn't necessarily fantastic was Excalibur.
I was
Just
gonna- I was
because
gonna
they
say-
are trying to explain a lot in that.
I was
book.
going to say there was a lot of exposition in New Mutants, but
I think there's still some fun. I think there's a lot of fun moments in that book still.
because that's when they meet up with the Starjammers.
Yeah, because they just show up and then the Starjammer's like, these kids are dicks.
Most kids are.
I thought it was a really funny take. It's like, hey, Cyclops is my son, and we don't give a shit about you guys. Like,
Don't they leave them on their whatever mission?
yeah, they just like, well, gotta go. They just freaking leave him there. It's just hilarious. And he's got to he has the number of a good space lawyer, apparently, the one character. But yeah, I think all the books have been pretty interesting so far. Dawn of X has been pretty solid. But yeah, I thought X-Force was really good. I'm not super familiar with this artist, but like
Now, not to
good.
put you on the spot, but you're working on a.
Yes. I've also been reading a lot of House of X and Powers of 10 many times over. I'm still
To what power 10 have you been reading them?
I don't want to. I've looked at those pages a lot. I'll say that. But yes, I'm. I mean, do you want me to?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So
Preview it.
Yes, I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. But essentially, I went through and I took all the pages of House of X and Powers of Ten, and put the whole story in chronological order.
Yeah. Okay. I have a tendency to try to do stuff like that.
Yeah, it was just.
If you remember
kind of-
Secret Empire,
Yeah. Oh my God. Bless you.
I've been,
It was
I've
more
been,
dedication than I had for it.
I've been slowly. Well, I started on a history of the DCU from the New 52,
Okay.
trying to go all the way to Doomsday, but clock. But
But it's not over yet, so. God, please let that book finish. Please let that book finish very soon,
I
please.
think it's supposed to be this month or next month.
Oh, really?
I think so.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Is Shazam going to come out too?
I don't know.
That poor book. Shazam can't catch a break in comic book form, like, ever. Remember Trials of Shazam?
Yes.
That got derailed because what, the art, like, Howard Porter's hands got, like,
Yeah,
destroyed?
Yeah. And then Freddie became Shazam for a
Yeah.
while, and
Yeah, that was
he was
Trials.
in. He was in. Oh yeah, because he was in Cry for Justice.
Yes. God, there's a book I haven't thought of in forever.
Oh come on, you don't remember when Arsenal lost his arm and then went back to doing drugs?
I mean, I think I just heard that it had. Wait, okay. That was the one where they're against Prometheus, right?
Right.
God, I read that book. I couldn't tell you a goddamn thing about it right now. That's.
It
was erased from
gorilla,
continuity, and it was erased from continuity anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter. Killing it, DC.
Let's see. What am I? Leviathan. Finished that up. Kind of. It was a pretty book. I don't know if it was a.
It may not be a good book,
Yeah.
but it was a pretty book. Yeah,
It's like,
on paper that book sounds so good.
I mean,
And the scenes, like that book itself is not bad. It just did not give me a satisfying like overall story. There were awesome scenes in it.
when I was I was thinking about this, and I was looking on, because I have a thing on my phone where I can plot out different stuff I'm writing.
Mm-hmm.
I was going back through like, who is Leviathan? I was like, Mark Shaw. Nah, haven't seen him since.
Yeah, I mean, did anyone even mention his name?
No, but if you go back to the advertisements, especially the one from Manhunter,
Okay.
he's the one that says, you're part of a legacy. I mean, that's the only connection that I could come up with,
Yeah,
and that's like,
it's so tenuous.
it's like, okay,
I mean,
and he was never even around when she became Manhunter anyway, so.
I mean, did the face look like the Manhunter face when he was a man? Did he have a man? I don't even know what his.
I'm just glad.
costume looked like.
I'm just glad wasn't Roy Harper, because that would have.
That'd be really bizarre. Wow, Roy Harper. Who gave him all this money? Like, what idiot would do that? Of all people, Roy Harper?
But it was
Like if someone, Damien, convinced some people to give him like $1 trillion to become the new Shield. Like, no one's gonna give this to a 7-year-old. They're certainly not gonna give it to Roy Harper,
I mean,
who's a fine gentleman, but not a
I-
businessman.
I think Mark Shaw being Leviathan, and it doesn't look like it's over. It looks
Okay.
like it. I mean,
Leviathan's not going anywhere.
yeah, it's not. He's not going anywhere. It looks like the Guardian is kind of somehow involved.
Yeah.
That was because I think it was in one of the first couple issues where like the Guardian got taken out. It's like, okay.
It's.
I liked my Maxwell Lord.
I
Theory better.
I like that they immediately like it's not goddamn Maxwell Lord. We checked. Everyone is saying that. I mean, didn't they literally say the internet thinks it's Maxwell Lord?
That was like issue 4 or 5. Yeah. Superman was like, yeah, everybody thinks it's Maxwell Lord. But I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It just seemed like a whole lot of nothing happened.
Yeah, I mean, I like Bendis and I like Malieve and I like a lot of the stuff that they've done, but it's like, and again, the book is gorgeous. And there are awesome, there are fun scenes in that book, but together they didn't give like a satisfying story, nor a satisfying mystery. A satisfying mystery makes you look back and like, oh,
Right.
damn it. And with comics, you have to be so specific about it because you have complete control over what you can see. So you should be showing me clues, and I shouldn't know that they're there.
Right. And again, there was
It's so
absolutely
hard to
no
do.
clue that
It's
Mark
so
Shaw was going to show back up.
Yeah, it's you know. Well, again, like
He was a
as-
manhunter. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as that series went on, it's just like, well, they're not introducing a lot of leads, so that it, like, in most cases, that means one of the main characters is Leviathan, and obviously that's not true. So it's just like introducing a character we didn't even know we were looking for.
Well, they totally went the other way.
Oh, maybe
With,
it was changed at the last minute, like
well,
with.
yeah. It was Hank Hall all
Yeah, it was
along.
Hank Hall. It was Leviathan. You heard it here first.
Hold on, I think there's one where we were like just rattling
Yeah,
off
we were
names.
just- yeah, we just
Did we
rattled off,
rattle
like-
off Mark Shaw? We'll have to check the tape.
I guarantee we didn't say it. No one was that crazy.
I mean, it's like they went totally different way with like the Batman Who Laughs and the Sinister Six. It's like, ooh, who has he infected? Oh,
it's these
next
guys.
month it's these guys because they have
it's-
books coming out.
Here's this book. Here are all the books for who is those people.
Take away the mystery.
What is it? It's like somebody sent. They're just people talking about solicitations. Someone sent Hickman a tweet about like asking about like, oh well, what does this solicitation like mean like for this? And it was like, I don't even think so. It's like, I don't even think previews should exist.
I agree.
He's just it was just like,
You know
I
what?
have nothing to do with those. I don't do them because I hate them. So
All I need
whoever's
to know-
writing those, I had nothing to do with
All
it.
I need to know is, Batman is going to be in Batman. He's going to be fighting somebody, and
Even if Batman is a different person.
yes.
Wow. Okay. Just making sure.
So, I did read the Wonder Woman annual that Steve Orlando wrote as a lead into his run on as he's taking over Wonder Woman
Oh, cool.
from G. Willow Wilson.
How has the rest of her run been?
I don't know. I still have to read it.
Fair enough.
I mean,
I read the first story arc and it just didn't. I mean, it wasn't like I wasn't like ugh every time I saw an issue. It was more like, it's just
Yeah.
not for me.
yeah, and it was.
But I'm very particular. There's very few Wonder Woman runs that I've really enjoyed.
True. Yeah, I mean, and it's a. I don't think it's a hard character, right? But it's. I don't know.
In theory, she's both hard to write and also the easiest to write. Like Superman is like Superman just always does the right thing, but also it's like, yeah, but there's so much you can do with him because he's the symbol.
And
of
unfortunately,
everything
the
else.
right thing involves revealing his identity again.
No, this is the first time. I don't know what you're talking about. the world doesn't know that Clark Kent is Superman. How could they ever figure it out?
Well, I guess they figured that he died.
No, that
'Cause-
didn't happen.
No, the New 52 did.
No, it didn't.
The New 52 Superman dying happened.
No, it didn't. It didn't happen anymore. Didn't you read Superman Reborn? Is that what that one was called?
No, that was the one. Yeah.
Yeah, where Mr. Mixel Plixel, it was pretending to be Clark Kent, and then they merged
No,
the
but-
old the 52 Superman
No,
with
but-
original Superman, and then history changed, so now he's just been the Superman forever now.
No, you had the.
That didn't happen anymore. History changed.
This is why writing that piece I'm writing is so hard to do.
Well, because it didn't happen. How can you write an article about things that never happened? It's impossible.
So you want to marker it and we'll take a break.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so what I think I did. I just go. I can't remember. we were talking about Leviathan.
Yeah, we were talking about Leviathan and Superman.
Yeah. So,
Oh yeah, his identity.
yeah. I don't know.
How do you feel about it?
Let down.
Let down. I guess that's just not an emotion
See,
I would have
well,
expected. I
well-
expected there could have been anger, happiness, intrigue, perhaps.
I know it because it was the whole series like because when Green Arrow ended
I almost put my pinky out when I grabbed those.
when Green Arrow ended at 50, it was after the whole Justice League and whole Heroes in Crisis thing,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden he shows up in Leviathan going, "Hey, I feel
Hey
good.
guys,
What's up?"
arrows, pew pew pew. I'm still into them.
And I don't
Also,
know.
I would read the hell out of a book where Green Arrow was just doing that all the time. Just super like laid back, silly Green Arrow.
But I thought they were had other plans to do something with him, and then he started showing up in Justice League, and it's like, okay,
He's just like, I guess, hey, he's just Green Arrow. Hey, we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Timeline.
But,
Convergence happened. Someone hiccuped. Convergence happened. Green Arrow was normal again.
Superman flapped his cape.
Yes,
and,
exactly.
because everything
Superman.
everything does is changes the timeline.
Well, there was still some of his DNA embedded on Superman because of how dense his skin is.
from his cape.
Yes, it was used to clone, and this is actually a completely different Green Arrow. So at some point, we're gonna have this Green Arrow versus grumpy. We've gone too far. We've gone too far.
That's my theory, that if they ever want to bring Stephen Amell back for Arrow, because they're doing like the future with his daughter being Green Arrow and all that, is they just do the quiver.
Oh, they're flashing back. That's the flashbacks for the season?
No, actually they've met. The Monitor brought the future kids
It's
to
just-
the past.
It's so, I mean,
Don't get me started on how they're not, I feel like Arrow and Flash are, well, Arrow mainly is carrying the bulk of the, hey, it's Crisis, and Crisis is coming, and Barry's like, oh, I'm going to die, so I'm going to have to get everybody ready.
I mean, we've already seen him die now, which is really messed up to think that, like, you're just going to show what's supposed to be, like, this big crowning moment and just give it away before Crisis even happens?
Well, because tonight, they're, Wells, the new Wells, is supposed to show them how they can save Barry.
Yes, but he won't.
But what I would like to see is have them do have what happened with Wally, where Abracadabra kind of like trapped him in the little.
You mean like
when Dark Flash,
well, yes,
Dark Wally,
you
Wallace.
mean when Wallace shows up?
Yeah.
Wallace.
I would like to see them, or maybe it's not going to happen. But John Fox.
No one. Man, I'd love to see John Fox. That'd be awesome. I always see.
Greg Bertinelli, I'll write the next season of Flash for you.
Yeah, it's just one more thing to steal from Wally, right? Can't even express how that just drives me insane to this day. Like, oh wow, Barry gets Savitar, and he gets Cicada, and he gets all of.
Speaking of Wally, have you been reading the
Flash Forward?
Flash Forward.
I have. I've read the first issue.
Yes. Because you have the same guy. You have the same guy who's kind of directing Wally around. He's the guy who kind of directs or narrates the Dark Multiverse stories.
Oh, okay, interesting. That dude with the crazy head.
Yeah, who first showed up in Sidekicked.
I mean, I don't even know.
Or Sidekick.
I don't even know. What
He
that
was
book
part
is.
of the New Age of Heroes. He was like a Spider-Man type, but he could like teleport into the Dark Multiverse.
Okay. That I've only read the first issue of that book, I think. But man, that is the most
90s.
That is the most 90s goddamn book that has ever existed. Just from character design, it just Brett Booth's art will always make it feel that way. Except
Scott Lobdell's writing.
well, I mean that's not helping either. But
Although I will have to say, Scott Lobdell has done a good job on Red Hood and Red Hood and the Outlaws.
I mean he can be good. I mean I've read plenty of his X-Men and enjoyed I'm sure a reasonable amount of it. But Hey, it's the same reason why Claremont has such a rough time in the new. It's just like people just don't tell stories like that anymore. Not that it's bad, but it's different, and some people it turns people off.
Oh no, you got water on your X-Man.
How could he? I trusted that waiter.
Now
Where
it's,
will I ever get another issue of X-Men? If only.
so yeah, I mean it's apparently in the one that comes out this week, tomorrow, I guess, as we talk now, or we're talking. This will probably go Friday, but
Yeah.
I guess he goes to like the vampire world and meets the dark or the vampire arsenal.
Yes. Okay. I remember. I saw a thing where he's like, "Roy Harper, what are you doing here?" Like they're just teasing all of. I really liked Heroes in Crisis.
I did too.
I really liked that book, but man, it puts Wally in the most messed up position.
Well,
And
Wally
this
was
is
pretty
such a-
messed up
and
from the
this-
start of Rebirth.
I mean, agreed. Well, I mean, at the start of Rebirth, it seemed like, yeah, we're back, we're great, good times. And then, like, Heroes in Crisis happens, like, oh, jeez. Flash War happens.
Yeah. Well, he also was. Wally was also struggling in the Titans.
Okay, I started reading that book. It's weird. Was that also Scott Lobdell and Brett Booth?
No, that was I forget who that was, but I don't think it was Lobdell. But
I read like the first story arc that had Abracadabra in it.
yeah,
Thought that was fine, but the book just had an odd tone.
it was. I mean, it was.
Or maybe I just don't like Brett Booth's art, and
Or
like,
maybe you just don't like the
subconsciously-
original Titans.
Hey, you said it. Those are your words.
But
You know, what if these Titans were like younger?
what if they were traveling the multiverse?
You know, what if they were young, like, but with seamless transition to Young Justice? Now that's a book. It's a book, right?
But it is.
It's a book.
Is that the one? I don't think I've read that one. No,
This just
is it? It's not the one where Tim gets his new suit, is it? He just
No.
has it on the cover.
Does he?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Because they're like on Earth. What is it? Earth 3, and he meets Drake.
Yes.
Who's
That
like-
is- Did I miss it in the last? Yeah, he's wearing it at the end of it. I clearly, completely forgot that he got a new costume. Ace reporter. Ace comic analyst, Michael Yanilovich. Totally.
Nothing gets by you.
Nothing gets by me. Steel trap. You know, if he had an X on his costume, like it'd be much easier to remember him.
I swear the Naomi symbol looks like White Lantern.
I mean, her symbol is extremely White Lantern. Well, that was like the thing. It was like, oh, she's an alien. Oh, she's a White Lantern? Oh, what the heck is going? It was just like,
Oh, she's not.
well, just like every issue, it seemed like they were connecting her to like some other part of DC. And you're just like, oh, this is where. Oh no, that's not where we're going at all. Oh, she's like half. You think she's gonna be Thanagarian or some
Yeah.
other alien, and then it's like, oh no, you're just from another alternate
It's either
universe.
or what's who does Adam Strange fight for? The
The Ran.
yeah, because on Earth there's the Thanagarian and the Ran. Her father's like
Yeah,
adoptive
yeah.
father's like Ranian.
You mean Sardoth?
No, not Sardoth.
Wait, who's? Oh yeah. Her father was Ranian, and a Thanagarian both kind of made lives on Earth, and then they also just found a baby from another universe as well. Like what a
It happens a lot.
yeah. It's a DC universe. These things just happen. People exist and don't exist. Their histories get rewritten constantly.
And then you find characters who haven't been in continuity, you know, in Gem World.
Well, yeah. Apparently, Gem World is outside of continuity.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, it's nice. It's nice they don't have that burden. It's just whenever a crisis does happen, it messes them up somehow. because like their world changes, but they don't, which I
Yeah.
actually think is kind of interesting. Of like, hey, you guys got to get your shit together. It's really messing us up out here.
But no, I've been following Young Justice, and I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's not the Young Justice I remember.
Well, I mean, I'm liking they're doing finally kind of going in and introducing and giving the backstory for some of the newer characters they've introduced, like Ginny Hex and the Teen Lantern.
Yeah, I forget what's the Teen Lanterns? Didn't she? Because it looks like she has the power gauntlet.
Yes, she has the gauntlet, but she got it. It seems like it's a gauntlet from another universe.
Okay.
Or the guy she got it from wasn't a Green Lantern, but he looked like a Green Lantern, but he didn't act like a Green Lantern. I wasn't prepared to talk about this book. I read that issue.
Improv.
I read that issue a month ago. No, but yeah, like this. This is issue 10. They kind of go into Ginny Hex's backstory. I think I think it's cool that she's there.
Yeah.
I like her and like the idea of they introduced like her trunk, and the idea that it's like, oh, this is just all the weird shit that Jonah collected and has been safeguarded and just been passed down.
Yeah.
And there's just a bunch of cool shit in there.
Yeah.
That you kind of get actually a look at some of the stuff in there.
Yeah, I remember that. I thought I was like, oh, I'll go back and see if I can, pick out anything, But I guess if you have the comic book here, we could do that. But have you read Superman Smashes the Klan?
I did not read that.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's
Don't have the. But well, it's okay. Let's see. I see an H dial.
Yes.
That's the most obvious one.
it looks like a Iranian gun or one of Adam Strange's guns.
Some kind of zappy gun. We see inside of her trunk, and it's just all kinds of different, like, just weird guns and items, and
Yeah,
I'm sure each of them has a story.
Adam Belt, Jimmy Olsen bow tie.
Is it Jimmy Olsen bow tie? What a weird. Why would a Jimmy Olsen bow tie be in there?
That looks like the three demons or something from the old Justice League.
You got me on that one.
That looks like I want to say that's the Starman's scepter. Kind of looks
What?
like it.
Yeah, but it's like super huge.
No. The original, the Golden Age,
Oh, okay.
the Earth 2 version.
I don't know what you're talking about. They're just in the past, apparently. They've been hanging out there the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know. But,
Well, because they're showing up in Justice League, so.
yes, but it's not the same Justice League.
You're not the same Justice League.
Or the same Justice. I don't know. That I think that's where the delay of Doomsday Clock really kind of screwed things up.
Yeah, but even like Green Lantern goes back, and who else goes back with him? I'm trying to even
Flash.
remember. Yeah, him and Flash go back, and it's like even they don't know who the hell they are. Like it's not like, oh yeah, these guys existed and they're just like dead now, or it was just like, who? Like,
But-
where did you guys come from?
I would think that, again, Flash would have recognized, at least kind of recognized Jay from the button.
Oh yeah, the button.
I'm-
Yeah, but Snyder didn't write that, so
I'm just saying.
I know.
But Josh Williamson did, and he was a great interview.
Yes. Yeah, Young Justice has been good. I finally caught up on that. The new Legion book came out as well.
So,
I appear to have gotten balsamic vinaigrette on it.
well, this is one of the books I was given at New York Con when I interviewed John Cooper of Skillet. I read. I mean, it's a good book. I mean, it's kind of sci-fi. It's a solid book. The art's solid.
So this is a solid. Okay.
It's a solid Skillet book.
Here, okay.
I think I would know. Probably
This is bad. This is good. This one is
so-
like it's C student or B
No,
plus.
no. I guess I would.
Like it's. I mean, I know what you mean.
If I was more into like more of a Skillet fan, I probably would recognize more of the characters. But
Oh, is it like it takes place in
it's
Skillet verse?
well, he's the hero, and there's like as he was telling me, it's like all the other band members that he meets, and
Okay.
so it's good. It was a nice read,
Skillet verse.
and then
The Skillet cinematic universe.
yeah, I have a. I mean, I think last time we got together, I had the baby's first alphabet, geek alphabet.
Yes.
Oh, this is from the same company. It's like baby's first who's who,
Who's who?
and my son loves it because it's like, oh look, it's Jon Stewart.
They're just revealing his secret identity just
Yeah, I
right
know.
there. Wow.
But my son loves it.
It's cool. No, it's cool.
He's like, because he knows who Batman is, he knows who Superman is.
well, it's because
He asked me why Spider-Man isn't in it. I said,
you know, you got to teach them early. You know, they got to know.
but no, I mean this is a
That's-
another good gift if you have.
You just called your son a noob, and then like,
I did,
You're not a real comics fan.
but again, if you have a young kid, or do you want to get hooked on comics, then this is another.
I need
One-
to. I need to separate all the infected books right now.
And then there's a list of all the other ones. You can find it on like Amazon, and
How does that even happen? How could this much balsamic vinaigrette get on this? It seems impossible.
it's like Carnage. And
Yeah.
did you ever finish Ultimate Carnage or Maximum Carnage? Or
The finale comes out this week,
okay,
so I will have the final word on. I mean, it's been good. I feel like it. Like the first issue was really. That book doesn't feel like it. It's paced very much like a horror movie, I'll say. In that, like in theory, what's happening is crazy and will affect everything, but it feels like very contained and claustrophobic.
yeah. Let's see what are you? How far are you on Batman?
I believe I'm up to date. I caught up because I was like 2 or 3 issues behind, and yeah, they got a lot to do in that book and a few issues here.
Yeah. And then James Tynion,
Tinian. That's
the question we
James.
never got answered from at New York Comic Con.
Tinian or Tinian or Tignon.
I'm interested to see where he's going to take the book.
I'm interested to read Batman and Catwoman. I think it's completely crazy that they took him off that book. That they took him off the main book.
Well, from what I understand, it's because he's writing the New Gods movie. He's writing
But
the
he's-
Adam Strange.
But he's still doing 15 issues of Batman Catwoman.
Yeah,
They just not think it's going to come out fast enough.
it'll probably be
Okay,
Doomsday
I mean,
Clock.
That would be, oh boy, wow. No, it's not. Come on. Even they couldn't be that late, could they? They couldn't possibly be that.
I'm still waiting
If
for All-Star
Batman-
Batman and Robin number
It's
10.
never happening. That's because you're a crazy person.
That's what I want for Christmas.
It's okay. I want Dan Slott She-Hulk to come back for Christmas, but it's not gonna happen. And if that TV show doesn't do that formula on TV, then they're out of their minds.
Oh, is that coming to Disney Plus?
It's coming to. I don't know what it's coming to.
Okay.
I know they're going to make a show. It might be just. It's probably been announced what it's going to. I just don't remember. I just know they announced we're doing a She-Hulk show, and I'm like, all right, you got me. I'm in.
Does she have a she shed?
It's okay. I'm already going to be furious at whatever casting they do for it because they're going to pick some girl with arms that are like this big around, and she's going to be She-Hulk or something.
Yeah.
Or the CG will be laughably bad. It's just like I know there's just going to be something that will be weird about it. 'Cause it's like, oh, okay, do you just paint someone green? Do you take a tiny person and then CG them bigger?
It's going to be Lou Ferrigno
Oh, God.
in
God.
in a bathing suit.
hate you.
I've made Mike
I
cry.
hate you for even making my brain think of that. I just picture him wearing like a two-piece.
Like Borat in the banana hammock.
Not even that. It's just him wearing like a bikini top.
Yeah,
It's just like, ugh,
you're welcome.
hate. The internet was a bad idea. This is all a bad idea.
I'm gonna Photoshop a picture of that tomorrow.
God. Hey, that's on your head, not mine.
What else? I'm trying to think.
Let me flip through my books.
It's so hard. It's been so hard to kind of keep up with things.
Dude, yeah, New York, New York and the travel completely destroyed me. Because in Montreal, it was like, oh, there's no point in going to a comic book store. They're all in French. And I just wasn't. It just wasn't a concern that came up. And then when we went away for the other thing, I left before Wednesday, or I left Wednesday, but then so I just kept having, every time I got comics, it would be on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then last week I picked up 2 weeks worth of stuff, and I'm just like, I think these are all the ones that I'm supposed to have. I have no concept of what came out or what was supposed to come out. I thought
I have no concept of what's come out, and I do this is what's coming out this week.
Yeah.
This is what I still have to.
I'm gonna, yeah, because I've been using Read Comics as the app. I know you still use Comic Geeks, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you why I don't use it, because it makes it completely unusable, and I don't know how. I just assume it happens to everybody. Because I'll just click on one of the items, I'll put it on my list. Then I'll go to the next issue, a different issue, and click on that, and the previous thing goes in there. And then I can't add it to my list because it's adding the old thing to my list. It's like there's something missing. Because there'll be just certain books where it's like, oh, well, I can't add these to my list because whenever I click on them, they don't exist.
I'm going to be. It's going to be. I don't know if you heard of the comic book DB. Comic book DB is closing down.
What the heck?
So I downloaded.
What the heck, internet?
So I downloaded my what I have, stored in there.
Stuff.
I guess they're coming back with something.
Oh, they're just.
I don't know what they're doing.
Are they going away, or I thought I heard they might be just taking it down because they need to do some severe work on the back end.
I don't know. I just heard it was going away, and they were planning on coming back with something else.
Yeah, I'm assuming it sounds.
And they were encouraging people to download, if they had their collection,
Oh, just to make sure that. Yeah, it sounds like I imagine they're doing a big back end switch, and just because that site. Hey, that site is functional.
Yeah.
But it is not an appealing website.
No.
Wikipedia is more appealing, and Wikipedia is also a bad-looking website. No panache, and DB has less panache than Wikipedia. The information is unbelievable.
Yeah. Have you? I see in your pile you have History of the Marvel Universe.
Yes.
I think I got to read is the last one out or coming out?
I brought this. I haven't read it yet.
I was gonna say
it was just in the pile.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird stuff back here.
Oh, that's all the back matter.
Oh, gee, criminy. Oh,
that's what I.
God, there's just so much.
Remember, it's Mark
Oh,
Waid.
okay, yeah. Okay, it looks like they're going all the way right here. We're basically at modern times. It seems like. Okay, there's another issue apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's another issue.
Well, I think the last issue was because it's Franklin and Galactus are talking. And
Yeah.
He's
It's a really,
dying. And
it's a really pretty book. If the person you want to get to write your History of Comic Universe book is writing it, so
true.
he's Mark Waid's a continuity freak. He eats that shit. Wasn't he one of the ones who was keeping DC's everything straight in the DC universe for before he was a writer?
I think so.
He was just I assumed this was gonna go up to the 90s, but yeah, this issue looks like it goes all the way Secret Invasion and that one after Secret Invasion.
I thought number 5 would just be like a giant pouch.
Oh man,
But
it really hurt me. It really cut me to the core.
another one I was given for review were these when I was at the Albany Comic Con.
Most vengeful of criminals.
Matt, I messed up his name before, and I probably will. Belski. See, I can't.
Let me see. Let me try my hand. Where is it? Is it even listed on the cover?
I don't know if it's. Anyway,
Yeah. Names.
I've,
Names.
yeah.
Sometimes they're hard to pronounce. I am acutely aware of such
There,
things.
there it is.
Matt
Belskis.
Belskis.
Belskis? Okay.
That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
Belskis. I was expecting like a really long name there.
Oh, no, because his brother's John, who owns Excellent Adventures.
John Belskis?
Yeah.
Like acting like, oh.
This is the point of the
no
show.
Yes.
But
That's when the cider is kicked in.
yes,
Pineapple went straight to my head.
I've read the first. I'm halfway through the first one. Is some short stories. It's a black and white comic. I mean, it really.
Uninterested.
It really sets a great tone for the stories.
Does
he
it-
also I
Does
don't
it
know if-
remind you of like some of like the older like horror
yeah,
comics?
it does. It does.
Are they going for that? I mean, the cover makes it
well,
look
he's
like
a big
it.
he's a big horror person. He for the Double M Ranch hayride, Halloween hayride. He
okay.
painted one of the big murals for them. He was when I talked to him at the Albany Con, he was painting. A lot of he has a bunch of horror paintings that he does. Pretty cool. So I got to finish that up and.
I'm still about a million issues behind in Captain America.
Well, you better hurry up. The Tale of Steve is like, or the Legend of Steve.
Yes, the Legend of Steve is happening right now. I just kept buying it and then kept forgetting that I had already bought. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna read a couple of those, and then there was like 5, and now there's like over 10.
Oh, I am. Are you reading Black Stars?
I am not reading Black Stars.
It's only 3 issues.
I haven't even read that Green Lantern
Yeah.
book in like a few
Yeah.
months.
I don't know. It's weird.
Black Stars or Green Lantern or both?
Both.
Okay. Are they? Is Morrison? Wow, we gotta stop shaking the table. Is Morrison writing Black Stars?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's.
Is it very much a continuation of?
Yes, it's. I guess at the end of the Green Lantern season.
Oh, so this is a mid-season replacement?
Yes. But it's only like 3 issues, so. But it's at the end of the 12 issues, he like finally accepts the position with the Black Star person, and
Interesting.
I don't know if it's.
That's not where I imagined it going.
I don't know if it was like on purpose or, but it was again, it was Morrison, and it's one of those things you have to like sit down and read 5,000 times before you.
But the whole point was he was telling some nice, simple, done-in-one stories, just having a
No.
good old fun space cop stuff.
No.
That book looks. I mean,
It was-
the Green Lantern. Is it still the same artist? Still Liam Sharp, or?
I don't think on the Black Stars. I think
Okay.
it's a different person.
I'm assuming it's giving
Probably him a chance to catch up.
him a
or-
chance to like get some stuff, like get caught up, to have a buffer. But yeah, the Green Lantern has become a weird book now. And went from being like their top book to being an okay book to now it's weird.
And again, it's one of those books that kind of exists outside of the year of the villain.
Well, just outside of, we don't know. We haven't decided if this is continuity or not yet. Like book.
Yeah. But that's why
We
John's.
just let him do whatever
But that's
he
why John
wants.
Stewart should live with the Justice League.
It's for the best. He's safe there. Morrison can't hurt him there.
I don't know.
Where's Kyle?
I don't know where
Yeah, I was
Kyle.
gonna say actually, yeah, where the hell is Kyle?
I think Kyle is last seen during it was the build up to when the Justice League run when like the what was it Drowned Earth? No, it was,
Wow, was he in Drowned Earth?
I don't think it was Drowned Earth. What was it? It was
He hasn't shown up in the recent stuff, has
it was he was in there.
They really threw in a lot of weird characters. I feel like McGann,
Yeah,
Miss Martian is all of a sudden
it-
hanging out with the Justice
Well,
League.
it
Like,
was
where
that,
did you
that
come from?
well that was after the New Justice, the when Scott Snyder took over.
Yeah, but I feel like we haven't seen her character in like a bit, and then all of a sudden she's like hanging out with him all the time during this
Well,
current like
yeah,
goings
I mean,
on.
apparently
I'm fine
she-
with her being there.
no.
Just like, where did she come from?
Well, she was like she was
Like the support staff.
the liaison between the Titans and the Justice
They
League.
need a liaison.
Well,
They need someone to liaise.
yes, they do, because before at the end of the original,
No justice.
no, before No Justice at
Before
issue
No
25, the Justice League disbanded the Titans because the Justice League is a bunch of jerks, and
I
they
mean,
didn't.
that's fair. They
and then
are a bunch
and
of
then
jerks.
once the whole stuff following No Justice, New Justice with the what is it, the Source Wall stuff.
Yes, the Source Wall was cracked.
They let
and
Nightwing
That was bad.
they let Nightwing form the team with new people, and
I like the idea if they allowed him.
this was before he got shot.
Now he's
Rick,
oh God, Rick.
possibly
Couldn't
going
think of the name.
being wooed by the Court of Owls now. But Dan Jurgens hopefully has
Rick
him on the
Grayson.
road to getting him back.
I mean, at some point he's going to go back to being Dick Grayson, guys. There's, hey, on the Amazon aisle they've got the Purple Ray, which just heals shit. Like, if they want to give him his memories back, all they have to do is say it.
He walks into the room and says,
Yeah, he walks in the room and says, "Hi guys, I got my memories back."
"I slipped in the shower."
What? Like you tell me, Martian Manhunter going to go down there and just be like, hit him with the mental.
Well, Martian Manhunter's part of
whiz-buzz.
Lex now.
Oh yeah, he's dead now.
He'll be back.
I know. Well, they've already.
That's another maxi series I'm going to be sad when it wraps up at 12 is the Martian Manhunter one.
Okay, the Martian Manhunter thing with Lex was real dark, real messed up.
Usually, that was, that was alluded to at the Year of the Villain, Evil wins.
Oh, I know, but it's just like that's just like in theory he's dead, and as a way to die, that was it was just wow, like what an amazing bummer this is, and they make it seem like, hey, there's no way out of this,
Yeah.
except
Well-
now they're like, no, I can still sense him. It's like, oh, screw you,
Well,
you can still sense him.
There was also, I forget which one it was, where Lex has this fallback plan to turn himself back into a human.
What issue was that?
It was like the annual or something.
Which book's annual?
Justice League.
It was Justice League.
Yes, because it's like another Lex from another Earth or something.
Yeah, he's like collecting Lexes. Okay,
Yeah.
I think I've read this then.
Yeah.
That was in the annual?
Yeah.
Is he conferring with the other Lexes? Is he killing the other Lexes?
I think he killed a bunch of them, and
Yeah.
then he kept this young one and has him in stasis or something, saying,
Okay.
if I want to
yeah.
go back, then
That's the route.
he walks into the room and says,
Yeah,
hey guys,
hey guys, I'm not a half Martian anymore.
Perpetua? Who's Perpetua?
Perpetua, never heard of her.
So,
Yeah, that's the thing with that book. Like, it feels like this should be in its own miniseries.
it's going to be, should be wrapping up anyway because Scott Snyder's leaving the title.
Oh yeah, who did they announce?
Vendetti.
Yes, Venditti and Hitch, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, that'll be good.
I'm not a big Hitch fan, but
Of his art, or
well,
He's
of this
in
writing.
Really, I really enjoyed his that Justice League of America run he did. I enjoyed the heck out of it. It took
It took forever.
Well, yeah, I mean, it didn't take as long as a lot of his stuff. Hey, it's not taking as long as
Doomsday
Doomsday Clock. Well, his thing was, well, he was doing his series, and then like, oh yeah, we just changed continuity. That's not happening anymore. And
Yeah,
he's
and
like,
then-
yeah,
well-
but I'm not done yet.
Yeah, and then they had to, then like in the last issue, they kind of make sense of it. There's like a one panel saying, this is what happened with Superman.
Well, yeah, I
He
mean,
was depowered.
Apparently, like that book was initially planned to be like much longer, or like he's like, oh hey, I have this, and then if you let me keep going, I've laid my breadcrumbs down, because he did another run after that.
Yeah.
I don't know, I enjoyed both of those.
Again, like that's like
his art is so good, and I thought his at least I thought his storytelling was, I mean, perfectly adequate. He certainly gave
So
himself
that's like-
the option to no not like
Perfectly
not
adequate.
like all that way, but like no, it was like this is I enjoyed this book. I mean right before the last Justice League book ended, man, they did some weird interesting stuff. Like weird stuff, but like I wish this book
well, and, yeah. but
like
that-
they made Cyborg the boss, and like their enemy
well, that
was a Justice League fan.
that was Christopher Priest writing,
Yeah, that was
which I'm
cool.
enjoying his. I'm surprised the Deathstroke is gone.
Okay,
Almost 50 issues, and he's still writing it. But
he's been writing it the whole
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
That's wild. Maybe it deserves a look, because let me tell you how I'm almost as done with Deathstroke as I am with Deadpool. That dude is everywhere. He's another guy who's
He was in Leviathan.
he's in he's in a bunch of books. He's shown up in every like cartoon, I feel like. He's
We
like,
need a villain. Deathstroke.
no, it's like, hey, we need a villain. All right, we're gonna do that, but we can only spend this much money on it. Deathstroke, then we'll take Deathstroke,
Well, Deathstroke was dead. Then apparently he's getting better.
of course. Wait, oh yeah, aren't like the two kids
Yeah. Well,
Deathstroking right now?
Jericho took Lex's deal
What was the deal with that?
to be able to go to his or be strong to his full potential or whatever.
Oh, full potential.
Yeah.
Who needs that?
You want to hit the button?
Oh, sure.
I'm gonna wrap it up here. It's
Yeah.
so what are you looking forward to? Anything coming out or
The end. Of,
something else to add to your pile that never?
There's a lot of books coming out this week. It looks like. I know the end of Absolute Carnage is coming out, and I hope that's good. I've seen some of the solicitations for the Venom book after this. They sound extremely interesting. So I'm assuming we're gonna get something cool. Marvel's got 2099 stuff going on right now,
Yeah.
which is weird.
Well, we just had it's the 80th anniversary, so that's.
Yeah, that's everywhere, dude. Like,
But somehow aren't they tying it in? Like 2019 is the 80th anniversary, and 90 more years. It'll be 100 and what fifth? I don't know. I'm not very good at
I
math.
don't know. 2099 was a Marvel thing like way back.
Yeah, I
and
remember
it's
that,
just- It's so weird for them to reference it now of all times. Like, what a weird.
Well,
like,
those characters
that's
have been
not
on
that far.
those characters are ready to come out of limbo. So
Yeah, they're ready to come out of limbo, and it's just like, yeah, like now that's not that far. Like it's far, but not that far.
I got a lot of things that a lot of like the mini series and maxi series that I'm kind of letting stack up, like the Warren Ellis's Batman's Grave.
Yes,
Um,
that is definitely whenever that is done, I am going to read the crap out of it.
Jeff Lemire's Inferior 5.
How is that? Have you read any of that yet?
I've
or-
read the first 2 issues. I think they cut it back to 6 issues. But he also has a Joker one out, Joker's Smile or something.
Is that a series or just a book?
It's a Black Label.
Oh,
I think it's like a
that's the
3
Black
issue.
Label. I still got to read Harley, the second
uh,
issue of that Harley.
yeah.
Book.
A lot of those I'm just kind of letting stack up, and
Yeah, it's
I'll
like
get to them.
I want to read this whole thing.
Then Jeff Lemire also has new question, The Many Deaths of Vic Sage, or
Okay.
Vic Savage.
That got announced.
Yeah, that's coming out tomorrow.
Oh shit! I guess I'll pick that up.
So, but
I'm really on the ball lately.
yeah,
I haven't looked at a solicitation in like a few months now. I actually have no concept of what's even like that Forest Sector thing came out and it's like what the frick, what the heck is this?
see, Wonder Twins getting ready. Wonder Twins and Dial H are
Got renewed,
I'm
got renewed or
well expanded to 12 issues.
okay. I'm catching up on. I just caught up on Dial H. That book is good. I like that book a lot. Wonder Twins, I'm just missing issues, and but it's like I also like I just kind of read the next one. It doesn't really matter. Like I get it. Something happened. It's fine.
You have you have you have the infected heroes. You have the Scarab.
Yes.
You have the
That counts as a tie-in, and I don't read those. I'm reading Batman Superman. That's the closest tie-in
Yeah.
book I'm reading, and I've been enjoying that book so far.
yeah. See what else? I'm just trying to think of some of the. Oh, I'm kind of letting Jimmy Olsen stack up.
That seems fair. I've just because of travel and everything, like Lois Lane, I think I'm like 2 issues behind. Jimmy, I'm at least 1, if not more.
But I enjoy the 12 issue maxi series.
I mean, I just say let Fraction do that book as long as he feels like.
I know Gotham
That's-
City Monsters is a 6 issue, which is wrapping up, and which is another one of Steve's books, Steve Orlando's books that I'm really enjoying.
Flash Forward 3 comes out this week.
Yes.
Justice League comes out this week. Marauders 2 comes out. Jimmy Olsen comes out this week. Spider-Man, Tony Stark, da-da-da-da-da.
Dial H.
Dial H, Captain America, Batman, Superman 4.
Another for the Captain American pot.
Yep. Yep.
I'm just
now I'm 10 issues behind.
I'm just glad that the CW shows are kind of hitting their winter pause mid-season.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's the thing of they've spent so much time like, hey guys, Crisis is coming.
Not building up the crisis.
Yeah, like
Well, again, Arrow and Flash have, but not even a mention in it in Supergirl or Batwoman. And as I said, you know what?
Batwoman, I could understand.
All I need is
like Batwoman's just starting. Let that series get a like. It's like when they start a show
you know what?
during a crossover, and you're like, what are we doing here?
All I'm asking for is like the Monitor showing up in Arkham and taking Psycho Pirate. That's all I need.
Is he there?
Yes, he's there. He was there at the end of the
all works
Elseworlds,
out.
and that's when he goes, "Worlds will live, worlds
Oh,
will die."
Wow, let me tell you, I forgot that the Psycho Pirate was in that.
So that's all I really want from Bat. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, like where's Pariah? Shouldn't Pariah be showing up?
Who's going to be played by Tom Cavanaugh?
Yeah, I know that.
And
I know it's a Wells. That's why I'm like,
And on Arrow, they've actually outed Lila Michaels as Harbinger.
I don't know who that is.
Well, and
Is she on Arrow?
yeah, she's on Arrow. She's married to Diggle. She's in charge of Argus.
Oh,
Her name is
Oh, boy.
Lila Michaels, and her code name is Harbinger. But she's
but it's not the lady who he had been with before, is it? Or is this a new lady?
No, this is the same one.
The same? Wow.
Yeah, but
But
she's
been around forever. Like
yeah,
they broke up
but-
a long time ago.
yeah, but they got remarried.
Oh my god.
And, but,
I'm so
then-
far behind. I mean, I'm not gonna watch that.
Yeah.
That whole series.
Come on, there's a finite number now.
Well, yeah, now.
But she's actually
So she's
met with the
been
Monitor.
Harbinger.
Is obviously working for the Monitor, and so
Man, DC TV is both so cool and so bizarre all at the same time.
I haven't even seen anything from the DC streaming service.
About what?
I haven't watched any of those
You
shows
haven't watched Doom Patrol?
because I don't have a subscription. I have Disney Plus, but
Yes, that's right. Because you knew deep down Marvel was more important.
no, it's because I can get a year free of Disney Plus.
But with DC, you get all of DC history.
I know.
There, you don't need to buy comics anymore. You just get DC Universe and you're done.
So I think we're going to include a couple more, maybe one or two
Yes,
reviews apiece.
We'll try to squeeze a couple out before. Try to get back in a little bit of the groove.
As always, links down here.
Yes, links in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe. Are we not supposed to say that anymore?
What?
Is it gauche if we say that? It's gauche
yeah.
to say gauche. I know
Gauche.
that.
So
It's so gauche.
I mean, we've picked up quite a well. We've picked up subscribers since New York,
That's good.
so that's always good if you want to, subscribe. I mean, it makes me feel like good.
I want to make Chad feel good.
Make me feel good.
Please subscribe.
I'm not asking for a pity subscription, but
Hey, we'll take what we can get. We're not above a pity subscription.
we are supposed to are in the process of scheduling a redo interview with Mark Russell
Yes.
because
Sorry, my books are all connected by balsamic vinaigrette right now. So
hey, that's
I mean, it's on me, but it just seems way worse than it should be.
even the DC to the Marvel, they're all connected.
Yes,
by
they're all.
it's like the bleed.
And this is over. Thank you all for watching.